everybody, we're going to jump into this competition in just a second, but I wanted to provide you with some background here because it's been a while, right? My last competitions were in 2017, and it's now almost 2024. So, just going to give you a sort of story about how this came to be because I think, especially for a lot of white belts out there, and maybe even some blue belts, people going through changes in their lives, like it's really important to understand that you can always go back. Like jujitsu is always going to be there, and some other things sometimes have to take precedent, especially if you're like a younger guy and you're thinking like, I'm really going to make this what I want to do. I want to be really good. I'm just going to say like, be patient with it because rushing through it is only going to set you back, actually. Um, so I started jujitsu in 2016. I was doing a no-gi class when I was in grad school. It was like just a regular fitness class at the school, at the rec center. Got me a basic positional hierarchy, some basic submissions, and I fell in love with it. So from there, went to a gi academy where they also did striking in 2017, and you can see my channel for those matches when I competed in 2017 after training for a year. After that, I moved back to California, where I'm from, away from Colorado, where I was going to grad school. Finished my PhD, found a job, moved again, and finally started training again in the gi in 2018. And I was registered for a competition, also a white belt. Instructor is like, hey, like we're thinking of moving you up to blue belt soon, blah, blah, blah. I want you to get a competition in. So I was like, all right, I'm ready to do this. Let's go. And then in training, I got kicked in the head by a brown belt while I was passing his guard. Freak accident gave me a concussion. And for those of you who have ever had a concussion, this was one of those ones that came on kind of slow. So it was like hours later, and I was driving down the road, and I was like, it's like this, I just like missed my exit. I was just like completely like going the wrong way. You know what I mean? So got out of the car, got home, took care of myself. So that competition wasn't going to happen, right? And I needed to take time off. And in that time, I found another job, and then I moved for that job, and so I had to change academies. And when I ended up at the new academy, things were going good. I was, things were starting to click, feeling really nice. Registered for another competition, and then COVID hit. So didn't get a chance to compete. I think I probably still have like some kind of reg credit at the promotion, but that's all done, right? So COVID happens, academy shuts down, you know, um, and when things finally start, moving again, I decided to change academies. Academy had opened up closer to home, so I could train more easily. Went there again, same story. Getting ready for a competition. Instructors like, yeah, you're looking like you're ready for a blue belt, but let's get you in there and see how you really do. And like a month before the competition, I get COVID, and then I'm out for 2 weeks, and I think, okay, well, I can still come back in, and I start training too hard and pop a rib out. So I have popped a rib out, and that's a really awkward experience. Feels really funky, hurts like hell, and that recovery took well over 6 months for me. Some guys will say it's like a 6 month recovery or less. I was out for the rib for at least 9 months, and then I had a kid, so I didn't get back into training until like recently in 2023. So I was out for over a year after I came back in 2022. I was out for over a year with the rib and having a kid. So now I'm back. I'm loving it as much as I did before. Need it even more now. And what I'll also say is that during this time period, I started lifting weights, and in addition to my running. So still running, still lifting weights, and those two things combined are essential at my age. I'm 37 for maintaining your cardio, your general fitness, and making sure that you have the durability and the strength to survive in this sport, especially when you're still a white belt and you don't have all the technique you need to stay safe and keep people off you. So, I was competing down in the mid 150s, feather or lightweight or whatever, but I'm in middleweight now. So, I'm in the mid to low 170s, and I'm quite a bit stronger than I used to be. I just a couple months ago hit a 340 deadlift, a 265 squat, and a 215 bench. So that's a little uneven and unbalanced, but I'm working on my squat and I'm going to get my bench up there. And I just recently ran a 2 mile cross country race at 540 pace. So like the fitness is there. Thank God, because you're about to watch a match where I needed it. um, and I really think that that's improved my life and kept me again safe and helped me recover from some of these injuries faster, is that lifting and the running. So for all of you out there, all those white belts and everybody else who's still working on this, just be as consistent as you can and know that like the injuries are gonna come and you're gonna go through, you're gonna move through them. Never surrender, just retreat. Never quit, just take some time off. And you'll never get better if you give up. So just keep pushing. Be consistent, be patient, and work through it. And I'll see you on the mats. So we missed the first 30 or so seconds of the match, where he got a takedown and I got a sweep. Passed right into mount. I'm not interested in feeling how strong this guy is in side control. I get the points, but he's able to regard briefly. So I bail out, pass, knee slice, and he goes to turtle. He goes to turtle for a lot of this match and the subsequent match. And I think it's because he really wants to get my legs. Like a lot of what he's doing in this match is trying to get my legs. He wants to come up on a single from turtle, which oddly enough is something I don't often see in training, but I've seen it a lot in competition at white belt. Happened to me in the last tournament. So let's watch him do his regard here. He's able to regard because my left hand is not blocking his hip. I go to the opposite side. My hand should have been down and blocking his leg. And that gives him the ability to bring his knee in. I left him too much space as well, to be honest. It's not just the fact that I didn't use my hand to block his leg, but this is a standard regard, and good on him. Something for me to learn for next time. So here he's trying to break my posture down with some collar grips. He does a collar tie there, but I was not impressed with this attempt that he made at at a cross choke. Nothing against him. It wasn't deep really at all. Like I honestly was not, I didn't feel under threat at all, which is why I didn't really respond to it because when he made the first grip, because it just wasn't a choking grip. It wasn't deep enough. Once he got the other hand in there, I knew I needed to respect it, but he tries to do a hip bump sweep here, opens his guard. That gives me an opportunity. I was going to pass to the left by pushing his knee down, but instead, I come around the side and get into side control. I was a little worried about the triangle there, but his legs were too high up. He shot too high and wasn't in a position to triangle or to armbar, frankly. So he goes to turtle. I dump him over again, and it's at this point where I'm feeling very confident about how the match is going. I look at the clock here in a second, I think. Yep, there we go. Looking at the clock and the score, I know where I'm at. And we're going to switch cameras because the other videographer, cut out too early in the match. So side control, man. Side control all day. Trying to stop his hip bump, trying to just stay on top. Pressure, right? Just really trying to frustrate him. I am not thinking about submissions here at all. I am just trying to keep on top of him and keep him away from my legs, because I really don't, after knowing how he feels on the feet, and how strong he is, I'm not interested at all in messing with him on the feet. And so he gets to the leg again. I almost knee him in the face. I slowed that down and I did not. But yeah, I'm just trying to stay on top of him. This is not a very technical position for me. I was trying to go to the back, but he hops on the leg. Okay, great. So now I have to sprawl out of this, which I'm able to do this time. Go to the far ankle, try to keep him from circling, and he gives me his back. So at this point, again, I'm aware that there are submissions from here, of course, but I'm just going to let him cook. So there's the sprawl, go for the ankle, and I'm going to circle around him. You see my right arm is going to come around, seatbelt grip, and he leaves a huge opening, just huge. Um, and I dive on it a little too aggressively because I hit my head on the mat, and if that wasn't a mat, then that would have been unfortunate and painful and potentially bloody. Um, so, like I said, I'm just gonna sit here and let him cook. Like I hold him in this position for a minute, a full minute of the match. I'm gonna just be holding his back, and it's a little odd to me that he's trying to do an ankle lock here. Maybe it's a matter of the points. He just knows that he needs a submission in order to win this match. And so an escape or something like that and reversal, it's not going to help him a whole lot. And he's got my right arm 2-on-1. That's my choking arm, and my control, the underhook is I'm trying to get a good deeper grip on the collar. Um, for better control. I would really like to hit a bow and arrow if I could, but honestly, again, I am just trying to control this guy. Um, and here he's able to stiff arm me away and get out of the back, and we'll watch that again. So this I move late on this, so he starts to pry me off his back. Right, that you lose back control not by losing the legs, but when your chest is no longer connected to their back, and so he's connecting his back to the floor. Here, I sense that, and I try to come on top, but he stiff arms away. I don't have enough pressure. I don't control the grip, so I'm not able to push away from his inside arm, his left arm. I'm not able to drive that across his body and keep him from turning in. So he's able to turn into me. He gets the leg, but it's right about now that that it's over. Time was up when he got the leg for the most part, and I'm laughing because it's like the very end of the match and he gets the takedown and gets to mount. But there it is, and I'll just his coach, you can see him in the corner there, like super supportive of his athlete. Lost 13-2, but just seemed to be really happy with how his athlete performed. And I was impressed with this guy's athleticism for sure. What I would say is what I need to work on is, I was afraid to commit to a takedown, and as a result, he got the takedown. I need to work on maintaining mount. That was a big problem for me in this match. Less so in the second match, but definitely still an issue I need to work on. I allowed too much space in side control and didn't block his hip effectively, allowing him to re-guard. And there was insufficient or inadequately improperly applied pressure from side control. And this allowed him to turtle repeatedly. I'd say that one of the things I could have done from the back to kind of, progress the position would have been to threaten the RNC using the hand that had the underhook. So switch that out and go for the neck and force him to release the 2-on-1. And then finally, I was late on the transition from back to mount and gave him the single leg. So special thanks to Lisette for video, moral support, and the car ride. Thanks, babe.